My understanding is that government corruption comes in various forms. One form, of course, which has persisted since the one-party state, is that money which correctly belongs to the state finds itself siphoned off into the treasury of the party or the ruling party. Right? That hasn't stopped. In fact, it persisted through Chiluba's time and even, I believe, Mwanawas's time. And that is something, look at the money that was spent on that election campaign in October. Was it all from voluntary donors, from well-wishers? It wasn't. A lot of that was state money.
So what are some of the repercussions of government corruption?
You can't run a country properly if you are going to have money leaking out all over the place, if the party is going to put its hand in, if individuals are going to put their hands in. And those individuals, remember, have to have contacts of one sort and another. They have to have protection. Because an individual like you or me on our own to walk in there and start helping ourselves to government money is not going to work. So the whole thing needs to be cleansed. Look what's happened in health. You've got these two, the Dutch and the Swedes, pulling their money out of the health budget, out of the health basket, pending sorting out this 10 billion mess. And I'm sure it's just the tip of the iceberg.
So what would be the role of the opposition in fighting?
The role of the opposition is to draw attention to everything that government does wrong. That's the role of the opposition. That's why countries with oppositions, like Great Britain, like America, like Germany, are the most developed countries in the world. The average British person is 50 times or 100 times richer than the average Zambian person. It's because of democracy. It's because people have been drawing attention to all the nonsense that goes on in government if you leave it alone. So my advice to everybody is don't forsake democracy in the name of efficiency.
In your own way, what do you think of government corruption in Africa? Is it as rife?
Well, I think it is rife. I think we have the evidence. Mind you, it's not as if everything is clean on the other side, outside Africa. Look at the corruption that we've just had surrounding MPs' allowances in Westminster, in the House of Commons. We've had, and even yesterday and the day before yesterday, MPs have been resigning for claiming expenses, government money to fix their garden, to put paint on their house. There's been a lot of nonsense, and but that's because of the press, that's because of the opposition, that's because of democracy.
What are the specifics as a result of government corruption?
Well, I think the general poverty that you've got in Zambia is very largely the result of corruption in one way and another. And corruption's a subtle thing. When you suddenly see civil servants building houses, it's not necessarily strictly illegal, but it makes you ask, excuse me, when did the civil service get a salary large enough to build a big house with 8 bedrooms? Where? How? It must be through some system of allowances, a travel allowance, a sitting allowance, whatever. And we have to really look into all this, because it can be legal technically, but it can be corrupt in the sense that it is diverting resources away from the poor people, the voiceless people in this country, to the people who are in charge, the elite.